time for the business news now with Nicholas Poynton. Mercury Energy, Nicholas, you say, is doubling down on its electric vehicle rental business. In what way?
Yeah, about 2 years ago, this is a renewable energy company. They launched this trial to see what sort of appetite there would be for an EV subscription business. And how it worked was that you'd pay at the lower end, about $399 per month. And on top of that, you'd pay insurance, rego, the warrant of fitness, and the maintenance to rent a Nissan Leaf from the company. And the company's obviously been buoyed by the success of the scheme, is now investing about $6 million to really scale up its offering. It plans to add about 50 cars a month to its fleet to bring its total to about 450 cars, which would actually be about 2% of all the hybrid and electric vehicles in this country.
So to be clear, Nicholas, this is not like one of those car share things. It's like a car lease arrangement. You have the car the whole time.
Yes.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, so it's not like, just call up for the weekend. It'd be month on month. No. So it'd be month on month, and people would probably go for years, fixed terms, things like that. But they did try some things with the scheme that didn't really work out. They tried offering people sort of more premium cars, things like Teslas and Volkswagens, and what they found out is that people just weren't really willing to pay the price to rent those. They were sort of attracting try before you buy types, which aren't the most profitable types of consumers that they wanted. So they've moved away from that, really doubling down here on the Nissan Leaf. So in its entirety, the company does have a lot of faith in this operation outside of the financial commitment it's made. They believe that more and more people are responsive to this the flexibility that really comes with leasing a car, and you don't have this depreciating asset sitting in your driveway. And on top of that, more and more people are acutely aware of the environmental impact that comes from driving a car with a combustible engine. So this is a country that does want to reduce its emissions or be carbon neutral by 2050. One of the ways you need to do that is really reduce the emissions off our vehicle fleet. But what we've found is that electric cars, they do come at a premium. So maybe this is a way that we'll see more and more people changing the way they drive. But also, it's worth mentioning that hopefully this will increase the amount of cars we have in the secondary market for electric vehicles and that sort of thing.
It's really interesting because obviously the whole sustainability thing, but I'm wondering whether it can be sustainable and attractive as well, because there's a lot of chatter about the way the Leaf looks. I wonder what people think. 2101 on the text. Hey, your next story is about a fledgling freight company making it easier to connect overseas buyers to, smaller New Zealand businesses.
Yeah, look, it might be a shipping solution that doesn't really help people bringing stuff into the country, but It helps for those people who want to get things overseas. So to explain how it works, I'm sure people were familiar with the concept or the business U-Shop. So that was where, imagine I wanted to buy a nice pair of sneakers from the States. They wouldn't ship to New Zealand. What I could do through U-Shop was ship that to a US postal address. They would repackage the item and then send it over to me in New Zealand for a fee. So essentially this fledgling company called Jerkrate, they are the New Zealand equivalent of that, except in the reverse. So what they try and do is help to people overseas who want to buy premium products from New Zealand. Think things like Manuka honey products, things like baby infant formula, those sorts of things. People from overseas can essentially buy from who they want, when they want, and get that shipped to this Auckland address. It will then be repackaged and sent over to them. And Jerkrate, they've partnered with DHL, the global shipping freight company, and obviously they have planes, so they don't have to worry if people were buying these things from overseas. They don't have to worry about getting their things on boats or supply shortages with containers, those sorts of things. So it's a really exciting prospect, and the company says they've seen a real boom in customers over the past 3 months, and one of the added benefits is the business it's creating for small New Zealand businesses, many of whom wouldn't be exporting their goods on a business-to-business level. So it's a really easy way for them to connect with customers that they may have overseas.
Interesting. And what numbers do you bring today?
So the NZX is up 62 points to 12,829. And while I'm on the topic of the NZX, I should mention, on the back of that announcement from Mercury, its share price rose about 2% to $6.34. When we look at the currencies, we're at 71, or our dollar is buying 71 US cents, 93.9 Australian, and 52.7 British pence.
Thanks, Nicholas. Nicholas Poynton with the business update there.